The patch notes that just dropped change Rise of Kingdoms in ways that we will be talking about for a long time. Gold Key commanders are getting enhanced. The new Naval Battles game mode is coming out very soon. And the new KvK format, well, we've got more details. So stick around in this video for everything we can uncover from these patch notes. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and this video is sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, and the patch notes that are going live very soon on the 17th are game-changing in many ways, and I honestly hope that every month we get patch notes like this, but I know maybe that's a little bit too much to ask. First of all, Spring Festival is on the way. It's going to be happening in about 2 weeks after the update. There's going to be a Lunar New Year event, 7-day quests, Lantern City, night fireworks, things that we have actually seen before. And if you want to see what these events looked like last year, including the lucky red packet, I'll have a card up in the top. Make sure to check that out at the end of this video. What you're probably more interested in is the new Tempest Clash. It's going to now be available, so effective right after the patch. Our ambitions stretch beyond the great ocean. Raging seas cannot quell our thirst for victory, and we will draw strength from our mighty sails until the entire world is conquered and explored. Maybe that was a little bit much, okay? I imagine that's how the developers intended that to be read, right? Is that how you read that in your head? In Tempest Clash, 10 governors are split into 2 teams of 5 to do battle in the high seas. Each team has 1 supply ship laden with goods that they must protect, destroy the other team's supply ship to win. There are 3 types of ships available in each event, and each governor must choose 1 type to enter the battlefield. Each ship type has its own unique skills that can help you claim victory. Tempest Clash puts every governor on equal footing on the battlefield. Any bonuses attached to governors will be inactive for this battlefield. Now, I think this is pretty cool. The only thing that has me scratching my head a little bit is that this feels like a mini game within Rise of Kingdoms, but how does it tie into the rest of Rise of Kingdoms? That's my only, question mark. I mean, cool. Sounds fun. I'm game. I'm just wondering, what's the tie-in? And maybe there isn't any. Maybe there's some bigger naval battle thing that they will ultimately roll out using some of the same mechanics down the road. I don't know. In order to provide governors with the best gaming experience, we've opened up the high seas for warfare. In the Tempest Clash event, battle is entirely different from land-based warfare, with governors getting frequent opportunities to command warships. Warships do not require rage to activate, testing governors' mastery of warships and the observation of the battlefield. Each of the 3 ship types has its own strengths and weaknesses over the other types. Team cooperation and mastery of combat is the key to victory. I mean, I honestly do look forward to playing this game mode. I again wonder what the broader tie-in to Rise of Kingdoms and this story and universe will be, but I look forward to seeing how all that plays out. Now, this next thing, man, I made a video on Valentine's Day of last year, 2021, and I said, some commanders need a little love, you know? And here we are, the museum, a new building in your city available after the season of conquest begins. You build it in your city, and the museum has a total of 14 exhibits. Each belongs to a different legendary commander. Governors can unlock exhibits using exhibit coins and buy relics using relic coins to provide commanders with powerful buffs. So you have to, first of all, unlock the exhibit for a commander and then enhance them with relics. So how do you do that? Let's see if it says anything. The first batch of commanders in the exhibits in the museum are Double C, Minna, Ethel, Barca, Richard Charles, Martel, El Cid, Esong, Mulan, Ragnar Shaggy Pants, Mehmed Freddy, Julius Caesar, and Charlemagne. Charlemagne could be relevant. Oh, no. So, okay, big picture, I like what's going on here, but let me finish before I give my opinion. During the season of conquest, governors from different kingdoms will own different commanders, resulting in an imbalance of commander power among governors. We've introduced the new museum system to help governors to strengthen certain commanders, allowing them to better face challenges of the season of conquest. Here's what I think is going on. Basically, the developers are trying to balance the pre-season of conquest commander metagame with the post-season of conquest metagame. Once you're in season of conquest, the game changes absolutely, completely, and all these commanders you see here are basically irrelevant, with the exception of Esong and maybe Mulan, and of course Ethel is quite strong. And I guess even Charles Martel gets some good use in the field. So they're not like completely irrelevant, but their power drops off so fast, it's just jaw-dropping. And you just even look at the skills, and it's like, one commander in Season of Conquest gets a lot of stat points, and pre-Season of Conquest, they don't. So I get the balance of the early game and the late game needing to get addressed, and here it is. Now, I think the way this is going to work is that you get your museum, and as long as you are in a Season of Conquest kingdom, it remains in your city, and all your progress is maintained. In fact, I think your progress is maintained in your museum for the rest of time. Even if you were to migrate back to a young kingdom, and again, I'm just guessing here, I would bet you that your museum may become invisible, no longer available to be in your city, or the buffs become inactive, but it never goes away. Like, I think progress you make in your museum is permanent progress on your account. That's my suspicion. I don't think it makes sense for it to be seasonal. I think that it makes sense for that to be something you can choose to do to improve the strength of your commanders. Now, if you thought Mina and Double C were good for rallying barb forts before, I mean, once they get buffs, how strong will they be? Is Charlemagne going to become the meta, finally, for rallying cities? Is Ethelfled going to be completely OP because she's really, really good already? I use Trajan Ethelfled. Or is Barca going to have something so nuts that Trajan Barca becomes the combo? Is Richard going to get... I mean, Charles Martel is already amazing with Charles Harold. I think there is a lot of potential here, but we have to talk about this. How do you unlock an exhibit? And how do you get exhibit, or I guess relic coins? How do you get the currency? And this is where I'm just guessing. There's a couple things that this could be. Option 1, bundles. Option 2, now excess sculptures from gold keys maybe become relics or maybe become exhibit coins. So hold on to your gold keys, in my opinion. Right? I don't know that it's likely, but I'm speculating, and I'm a hoarder, so take it with a grain of salt. But last time I said hold silver keys, and here I am 40,000 silver keys later, and they haven't changed their value at all. Maybe they won't make gold keys more powerful at all. Maybe the thing they're going to do is, again, just have like new bundles and new unlock mechanisms. And maybe even this will be a reward from the new Tempest game mode. I don't know. But I would just hold on to those gold keys for now until we see exactly how it goes. And gosh bless, if I am able to trade in my old legendary commander sculptures for whatever these new currencies are, these exhibit coins and relic coins, I am going to be fat and happy forever and ever for the rest of my life. If I can finally turn in my 1,265 double C sculptures. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I really think that what they're trying to do is give new currencies and new chases and new things to pursue. So don't worry. I don't think that's likely to be a thing. If you didn't hoard, you're probably going to be completely fine. Now, the Lost Kingdom Desert Conquest new map. Hello, baby. Do we want to be the first ones to play the new map in 254? I don't know, but it feels like the sort of thing we want to charge into, but maybe not be the very first ones to go do it. We'll see, man. I mean, the timing for this is going to be really good with when we probably want to queue up for KvK anyways. We have followed the trail of our predecessors in search of incalculable treasure buried deep underground. This search has led us to barren wastelands filled with abandoned structures and towering monuments to long-lost glories. The very landscape is a challenge as our troops struggle in vain against bitter desert storms that daily frustrate our progress. I think that frustrate our progress daily. We have no doubt that any victory here must be won by gradual steps. Kingdoms taking a part in the Season of Conquest. Now have a chance to play through the all-new story Desert Conquest through the Pioneer event. So in this story, governors will experience a new lost kingdom. Oh, so this is like Oregon Trail. Unique fortress building. Okay, maybe it's not like Oregon Trail. I just figured like desert, struggle, Oregon Trail, everybody dies of dysentery. Come on, like you played Oregon Trail, right? Am I the only one that played that on like, you know, like Mac 1.0? I know that's not a thing. You get the idea. Okay, anyways. Governors from all camps will have to get a grip with the new gameplay and devise a strategy for victory. The new map, Desert Wasteland, awaits all governors who will conquer it. The Sea of Death. The Desert Conquest story incorporates a Sea of Death, a terrain and realm separated by a vast mountain range entirely devoid of resource points and barbarian forts. Governors cannot teleport into the Sea of Death. Okay, I understand why you call it the Sea of Death. Colossi. The colossal statues around the Sea of Death will grant bonuses and significant prestige upon occupation. Occupying Colossi is the key to victory. Okay, so this KvK is won and lost by occupying Colossi. Fortresses. There are two types of fortresses in the Sea of Death: the Desert Fortress and the Ancient Fortress, both of which can be occupied by any camp, and governors must make good use of these two fortifications to progress strategically through the barren waste and occupy more passes, colossi, and holy sites. Now, there are generals, a story-specific role, acting as the manager of a fortress. Any coalition member can choose to assemble their troops at the fortress, which will grant the overseeing general the right to garrison, assemble, and dispatch such troops as, he or she sees fit. Woo! Okay, this is important. The right to garrison. So your troops will be sent to die in a garrison. Assemble. So get them into a rally. That's what assembling is. Or dispatch. Move them into the open field. Could you troll somebody and be like, excuse me, put your march over here right into the enemy and GG, see you later? I don't know. I'm actually really hyped for this function. It makes me feel better about going offline and being like, take my troops. Just wait. Do what you got to do for the kingdom. And I've heard two perspectives on this. My perspective, and I think the perspective of more casual players, is, this is awesome. I can contribute to my kingdom even if I don't have time. Okay? And this hopefully alleviates the need to do as much zeroing of non-contributors at the end of KvK. Because, like, bruh, don't be contributing to the top 300 by power if you're not going to do anything. And even just holding a space in a top alliance and not doing anything is not cool, right? So I think it addresses that community problem, hopefully, which I think is amazing if it does. But otherwise, the other angle I've heard here is, like, I don't have that many troops, man. And I play a lot, so I want to play with my troops. So I don't want to put them under the command of a general. And for those people, hopefully, this is all fine, right? Like, you can just play with them on your own then. And you don't have to be one of the people going into the fortresses and letting the general take control of your precious troops. Now, a couple other questions that I have about this. Is this going to actually use your commanders or just your troop count, right? How do the troops get to these fortresses? Can they be attacked on the way? Yes, no, maybe. There's a lot of questions I have about how that ultimately will work, and I'm really hyped to see how it plays out. As soon as I have more information, of course, I'm going to talk about it here, so subscribe if you'd like to see that. Prestige. Your prestige score is a composite of your individual prestige, coalition prestige, and camp prestige, and is earned by killing or severely wounding enemy troops or occupying colossi and holy sites. Obtain enough prestige to receive rewards from the Crusader Achievements and Honor Roll leaderboard. Is there a zig? Is there a ziggurat to capture? I am not so sure there's even a ziggurat here. It could just be that you need to just get prestige, and the highest prestige is the winner. Healing potions are a new resource type in this story that can be given by camps to governors or won via engagements against enemy forces. Governors will have the option of healing severely wounded units in the hospitals through these healing potions. We hope the story will be a unique experience for governors who have played the Season of Conquest stories such as Heroic Anthem, Strife of the Eight over the years. Desert Conquest's Sea of Death brings a new strategic richness to the story, increasing the intensity of the campaign, while the Fortress and General system allows governors to seek out combat at a pace that suits them, confirming that if you can't be as active, the developers are giving you a way to still be a team player. I actually really like that, and I'm hyped about that. The Osiris League Grand Finals are changing. It will now be a best-of-3 system, and the match will end once a side has won twice, which makes sense. Contestants for the Grand Finals will be locked in once the preparation phase or rest period is complete. The roster will consist of 30 vanguards and 15 backups. Once the battle is ended, no changes can be made to the roster, okay? Buffs for governors in the Grand Finals have been changed to allow for a fairer fight. I will be very curious to see how they have changed. Maybe that means like no VIP, for example. Rewards for the champions have been changed. A personalized alliance symbol has been added for the champion alliance, allowing them to show off their victory. This replaces the city theme reward. You know, this is definitely interesting. I think most players would say they would prefer the city theme by a long shot. However, for all the players, and it's like 99.999% of the Rise of Kingdoms players that don't make it to this Grand Finals, keep in mind, this is not Osiris League Finals. That reward is unchanged. The Grand Finals is when the winners of each of the leagues goes and battles against each other, okay? And you used to be able to get your city theme for winning Osiris League, and then get another city theme for doing well in the grand finals. That is changing, where now, you know, it's not just the winner. So in case there was any confusion, right? We look at the schedule and we advance to the finals. Every realm has a champion, and the champion of each of the different realms listed in the upper left there do battle in that grand championship. I'm definitely hyped for that. I hope that I'll be casting that. I mean, if not on the official channel, then on my own personal channel. That's the game plan. And cruising on through here, there's more, if you can believe it. By the way, one last thing I'll say over here is that a cosmetic is actually kind of cool for the Alliance. Like, yes, people probably would prefer the city theme, but also, like, showing off how badass your Alliance is pretty cool. So other changes. A number of roles and skills have been added and changed as part of the Chisgule crisis. When selecting roles and skills, governors will now be able to make clear their preferences and cooperation strategies. We've also made adjustments to the chieftain's skill damage. Okay, so I said that the developers have been doing stuff with Chisgule, and it's not a coincidence, and that they're not done. And they have some bigger vision, and they keep making changes, which leads me to believe that we're going to see more stuff with Chisgule and the design of that event. Even if it's not Chisgule itself and something like it, I think the developers are making moves there, and I don't know what they're up to yet. Blueprints of the legendary accessories Greatest Glory and Concealed Dagger will be available in the Holy Knight's Treasure after updating. These items will be usable prior to the Season of Conquest. So, just in case it wasn't clear, the Dagger and Greatest Glory will be the meta accessories for KvK Season 1, 2, and 3. Slam dunk, meta, best possible accessories. You will want them for Rally or Garrison. They will be game-changing. Game-changing. After updating, kingdoms that have not entered the Eve of the Crusade event for Lost Kingdom Season 1 will be sent custom resource bundles and 7-day supplies. Okay, so this is just changes to who can see what bundles. After updating, certain bundles will no longer be available. And they fixed an issue where Takeda's expertise skill had an incorrect description in some languages, but the commander's actual battle strength is unchanged. If you want to give feedback, you follow this link. And let me tell you something. This is where the developers look when they try to understand how players feel about these updates. So if you have any thoughts about this, this is the place where you give your feedback. Although, of course, I love when you comment on my videos because that helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, throw a like on here. Consider subscribing. Each of those things is like giving me a high five that's like, hey, Chisgule, thank you for entertaining me this morning. I appreciate you. And I will be eager for your comments down below. What do you think of the changes to the Osiris League Grand Finals? Or more importantly, the new KvK format, the Tempest Sea battles? And if you want to see, by the way, pun not intended, GG, if you want to see what that actually looks like, there was a short video released, and I covered it on my channel. All the card up in the top. If you want to check out what the actual Tempest battle was going to look like. What is it? Tempest Clash. Check out the card. It's there. I'll wait. Click it. Okay, waiting's getting awkward. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you later.